Right now, somewhere in an American backyard, there are berries growing that look exactly like something you could eat. Shiny, ripe, perfectly colored. And every single year, those berries send children to emergency rooms and adults to intensive care. For grandparents in their 50s and 60s, whose grandchildren run through their yards every summer, this is not a distant risk. It is a backyard reality. Today, we are covering 9 of them, and the one that will stop you cold is a plant most Americans deliberately choose to grow because they love how beautiful it looks. Stay with me through this entire list. Welcome to Natural Verge, where ancient plant wisdom meets practical modern living. Today, we are breaking down 9 wild backyard berries that look safe enough to eat but have killed children and adults. One of them comes from a plant you may be actively growing in your shade garden right now, and it contains not one cardiac compound, but 38. Subscribe, this channel was built for you. The most dangerous assumption an American family can make about a backyard berry is this one: if it looks like something I recognize, it must be safe to eat. That assumption is exactly what makes these 9 berries so lethal, bright red, deep purple, shiny black. These are not warning colors to a child. They are invitation colors. And several of these berries grow at exactly child reach height inside the most beautifully landscaped American yards. Here is the smarter framework. Color tells you nothing. Cluster shape tells you very little. The identification details that actually save lives are almost always one level deeper. Seed shape, stem color, leaf pattern. For grandparents in the South, Midwest, and Northeast, whose grandchildren spend summer months in their yards, this list is not optional knowledge. It is the knowledge nobody handed you at the nursery when you bought the shrub. Most Americans assume deadly nightshade is a European problem, something from old poison stories, not something growing along their back fence in Ohio or Georgia. That assumption is wrong. Atropa belladonna naturalizes across USDA zones 5 through 9. That covers most of the American South, Midwest, and Mid-Atlantic, and it produces berries that are shiny, black, and sweet, smelling when ripe. Botanical toxicologists document tropane alkaloids in every part of this plant, root to berry, and the concentration in ripe fruit is high enough that 2 to 5 berries represent a lethal dose for a child. The cost of a wrong identification here is not a hospital bill. In documented North American poison control cases, it is a funeral. The berries ripen in late summer, exactly when grandchildren are outside most, and they look, at a glance, identical to wild black cherries that are completely safe to eat. The single identification feature that separates deadly nightshade from wild black cherry is the calyx, the small star-shaped green structure at the base of each berry. On nightshade, it is prominent and clearly 5-pointed. On wild cherry, it is absent or barely visible. The mistake most Americans make is picking or moving this plant without gloves. The toxins absorb through skin in Zone 6 and 7 gardens. This plant can return from root fragments after removal, so cutting at soil level is not enough. Full root removal with disposable gloves, bagged and binned, not composted, is the only safe approach. In the Northeast and Upper Midwest, watch for it emerging along fence lines and shaded garden edges in May. If children or grandchildren play near that area, this is a same-week removal, not a next season project. The next berry on this list grows in millions of American front yards right now, and most families put it there deliberately. Holly is in more American front yards than almost any other ornamental shrub. Nurseries sell it as a low-maintenance landscaping choice, and it delivers dark green year, round, bright red berries through fall and winter, attractive in every season. What the nursery tag rarely mentions is that those bright red berries contain compounds that cause severe vomiting, dangerous diarrhea, and documented heart rhythm disruption in children. The Children's Hospital of Philadelphia Poison Control Center lists holly as one of the most commonly reported backyard berry poisonings in the Mid-Atlantic region. For American homeowners in zones 5 through 9, which covers nearly every state with consistent holly growth, this shrub sits at child reach height and produces peak berry clusters between October and February. That is exactly the window when grandchildren are visiting for the holidays and spending time near exactly those front yard plants. The specific holly varieties most commonly found in American yards, American holly, English holly, and Japanese holly, all carry this same berry toxicity profile. The mistake families make is assuming the berries are only dangerous in large quantities. Documented cases show as few as 2 berries, causing significant gastrointestinal distress in a small child. If you want equivalent visual impact without the risk, winterberry, Ilex verticillata, produces the same striking red berry display through winter, but with substantially lower toxicity concern, and it supports native bird populations as a bonus. Aronia berry is a second option, dark purple fall berries that are fully edible for both humans and wildlife, available at most American garden centers for under $25 per plant. If you choose to keep your holly, physical barrier netting over berry clusters during peak fruiting from October through February is the minimum safety step. The next berry on this list looks so much like a wild grape that experienced foragers have been fooled. Here's the identification challenge that kills foragers. 2 vines growing on the same fence, same dark purple berry color, same loose cluster shape, same general leaf outline. One is wild grape, perfectly safe to eat, used in American kitchens for generations. The other is moonseed, and research into its primary alkaloid, doricin, confirms it targets the same cardiac pathways as several prescription heart medications. In uncontrolled doses, the cardiac and respiratory failure it causes is fatal. Moonseed is a native North American vine, which means it does not look exotic or out of place. It belongs here, it grows here naturally, and it thrives in zones 4 through 8 across the Midwest, Northeast, and Mid-Atlantic states. It climbs fences, trellises, and garden structures exactly the way wild grape does. And because it is native and unremarkable looking, most American homeowners who have it growing in their yard have never once questioned whether it belongs there. The only reliable separator between moonseed and wild grape is inside the berry. The seed, wild grape seeds, are round. Moonseed seeds are shaped like a crescent moon, curved, flat, and unmistakable once you know what you are looking for. The problem is that this identification requires cracking a berry open before anyone eats it, and most people foraging casually do not do that. The mistake is assuming that because wild grapes grow freely on your fence, all the similar-looking vines on the same fence are also wild grape. In Zone 5 and 6 gardens, both vines frequently colonize the same structure in the same season. If you see dark purple berry clusters on a vine and you are not certain of the identification, crack one berry before any child touches another. Crescent, shaped seed, moonseed. Walk away immediately and remove the vine, round seeds, wild grape, safe. That is the only test that matters, and it takes 4 seconds. Up next is the berry with the most unforgettable name on this entire list. The name alone should tell you something. Doll's eyes, white berries with a single black dot staring up from vivid red stems on the forest floor. Children are drawn to baneberry precisely because it looks like something from a fairy tale, bright, strange, and unmistakably beautiful. Actaea pachypoda grows natively across USDA zones 3 through 8, the entire American Northeast, Upper Midwest, and Appalachian region, and it appears regularly in shaded garden borders and woodland garden designs. The cardiogenic toxins it contains are documented in North American poison control case studies as causing cardiac disruption symptoms within 30 minutes of ingestion in children. That is not a gradual onset. That is an emergency room timeline. The red stems are so vivid and so distinctive that once you have seen this plant in person, you will never confuse it again. But most American families who grow native woodland gardens have never been shown what it looks like. There are 2 baneberry varieties in American gardens, White Doll's Eyes and the less discussed red baneberry, Actea rubra. Both carry the same cardiac toxicity profile. The red variety grows more commonly in Zone 4 and 5 woodland gardens in the upper Midwest and Northeast. The mistake homeowners make is assuming that because baneberry is a native plant, it belongs in a family garden. Native does not mean safe. If your shade garden includes this plant and grandchildren or young children visit regularly, removal is the right answer. The safe alternative that delivers similar woodland aesthetic without toxicity risk is wild ginger, Asarum canadense, a low-spreading native ground cover that costs under $15 per plant at specialty nurseries and requires almost no maintenance once established in Zone 4 through 8. The next berry on this list is one that a grandfather in Illinois planted himself along his driveway and never once thought to question. That story deserves its own moment. Think of a grandfather in his late 50s in Zone 5, Illinois, Indiana, somewhere in the upper Midwest. He planted a cotoneaster hedge along his driveway about 10 years ago because it was affordable, attractive, low maintenance, and gave him exactly the color and privacy border he wanted. Every summer, his grandchildren play along that fence line. They run past it. They reach into it looking for whatever children look for in hedges, and those bright red berries, shaped almost exactly like tiny tomatoes, have been within arm's reach the entire time. He has never considered them dangerous. Nothing about cotoneaster says danger. It is one of the most widely sold ornamental landscaping shrubs in American garden centers, but documented botanical research confirms it contains cyanogenic glycosides, compounds that the body converts to hydrogen cyanide in the digestive system. That grandfather's story is not unusual. It is the rule, not the exception, in American yards from the mid-Atlantic to the Pacific Northwest. The 3 cotoneaster varieties most common in American yards are Cotoneaster horizontalis, the low-spreading form Cotoneaster lacteus, an upright hedge type, and Cotoneaster franchitiae, a semi-evergreen arching shrub. All 3 carry the same cyanogenic compound profile. The mistake homeowners make is treating them the same way they treat any ornamental hedge, pruning occasionally, ignoring the berries as decorative. The berries are the problem. If you are in your 50s or 60s and you have this hedge growing along a fence line where grandchildren play, the replacement conversation is worth having now rather than after an incident. Serviceberry Amelanchier is the best direct replacement. It delivers similar height, similar form, year-round interest, including white spring flowers, and it produces edible purple berries that are safe for both children and adults. Most American garden centers stock Amelanchier for $20 to $35 per plant. We are now at the halfway point of this list, and the berry coming up after this break is the one I teased at the very beginning of this video. We are now halfway through this list. You have the 5 most commonly encountered toxic backyard berries in American yards and the identification tools to act on that knowledge today. But I made a promise at the start of this video. One berry that most Americans deliberately grow and love. One berry from a plant so beautiful it appears in shade gardens from Maine to Oregon, and one cardiac number so specific it will change how you look at your own garden permanently. That berry is next. And if you are in your 50s or 60s and you have spent seasons building a shade garden you are genuinely proud of, this next block was built for you. Drop your state in the comments right now, your USDA zone changes, which of these berries you need to prioritize, and I will call out specific zones through the rest of this list. Hit subscribe if this is the kind of knowledge your garden needed years ago. It is free, and it always will be. This is the plant I mentioned at the very beginning of this video, the one that most Americans deliberately choose to grow in their shade garden because of how beautiful it looks. Lily of the Valley, Convallaria majalis, is one of the most beloved shade garden plants in America. Elegant white bell, shaped flowers in spring, clean arching green leaves through summer. Low maintenance, spreads naturally, and then in late summer, it produces small orange-red berries that sit hidden at the base of those same beautiful leaves. Here is the number I promised you. Peer-reviewed botanical toxicology literature documents 38 separate cardiac glycosides in Convallaria majalis, not one compound 38, each one capable of disrupting heart rhythm. Horticulturalists classify it as one of the most cardiologically dangerous plants in the temperate American climate zone. This plant grows in zones 2 through 9. There is almost no American garden where it cannot thrive, and its berries appear precisely when the foliage is at its densest, making them easy to overlook. Here is the honest limitation that most guides skip. Lily of the Valley spreads through underground rhizomes, and once established in a shade garden, it is genuinely difficult to fully eradicate. Digging it out removes most of the plant, but rhizome fragments left in the soil will resprout within one season. If full removal is not practical, the safer management approach for families with grandchildren is to remove berry clusters by hand with gloves every August before they fully ripen and become brightly colored enough to attract attention. The specific mistake most American gardeners make is assuming that because they know the plant, children near it also understand the berries are not edible. Children do not make that connection. The plant looks friendly. The berries look like tiny edible fruits. If your shade garden in zone 4 through 7 has this plant and young children visit your home, berry removal in August is now a seasonal calendar item, not an optional one. The next plant on this list hangs in millions of American homes every December. Every December, millions of American families hang mistletoe in their doorways without a second thought about what it actually is. Phorhodendron leucarpum, American mistletoe, is a parasitic plant that grows natively across the American South and lower Midwest in zones 6 through 9, where it appears in tree canopies and is frequently harvested for holiday decoration. Its white or pale translucent berries are visually distinctive, small, waxy, and clustered in tight sprays. What most families do not know is that those berries contain phototoxin and viscotoxin proteins documented to cause severe gastrointestinal distress, slowed heartbeat, and potential damage to the brain, kidneys, and adrenal glands at sufficient intake levels. In a home with children and pets during the holiday season, a low-hanging spray of real mistletoe with ripe white berries is not a decoration. It is an accessible toxin at exactly the height where children and dogs are most likely to investigate it. The tension here is real, and the solution is clean. The solution here is the simplest on this entire list. Artificial mistletoe, available at every American craft store and online retailer for under $10, delivers identical visual impact with zero toxicity risk. The white berries look the same, the green leaves look the same, the holiday tradition is completely unchanged. The only difference is that no child or pet can be harmed by reaching it. The mistake families make is continuing to source and hang real mistletoe, because that is what they have always done, without ever having been given a reason to question it. If you have real mistletoe hanging anywhere in your home below 6 feet this December, replacing it with artificial is a one-minute decision that costs less than $10. For homes in the American South and lower Midwest, where mistletoe grows natively in yard trees and falls to the ground during storms, or after bird feeding, seasonal ground clearing after windfall events is a year-round awareness item, not just a December concern. The next berry looks like something you might pick for a fruit bowl at a farmer's market. Virginia creeper is one of the most visually spectacular native vines in North America. The 5-leaflet compound leaves turn a brilliant crimson red in fall that stops people in their tracks. It covers fences, walls, and structures beautifully and requires almost no maintenance. And in late summer and fall, it produces dense clusters of dark purple berries that look, at a distance, exactly like wild grapes or elderberries, both of which are widely foraged across American yards. The toxicity mechanism in Virginia creeper berries is oxalate crystals, microscopic needle-like structures that cause immediate burning in the mouth and throat on contact followed by nausea, vomiting, bloody diarrhea, and potential kidney damage at higher intake levels. Documented cases in children show that even small quantities cause significant distress. The vine grows in zones 3 through 9. There is no American region where it does not naturalize, and it is sold freely at nurseries across the country as an ornamental landscape plant with no toxicity warning on the standard nursery tag. The identification key that separates Virginia creeper from wild grape is leaf count. Virginia creeper always has 5 leaflets per leaf, 5 distinct pointed segments radiating from a single point. Wild grape has 1 broad, lobed leaf per stem. This is visible from several feet away once you know what you are looking for. The mistake foragers and homeowners make with Virginia creeper is assuming that because birds eat the berries freely, they are safe for humans. Birds have a fundamentally different digestive chemistry. This is not a reliable safety test for human consumption, and particularly not for children. One additional detail that most guides omit: Virginia creeper berries become more toxic as they darken and ripen. The deep purple, fully ripe berry carries a higher oxalate concentration than the less ripe blue-green berry. If you are managing this vine on your property in zone 4 through 8, removing berry clusters before they fully ripen in September is the safest seasonal practice. The final berry on this list has a habit that most American homeowners do not know about until it is too late. Common buckthorn is the invasive shrub that millions of American homeowners have growing in their yard without having planted it there themselves. Rhamnus cathartica produces dark purple to black berries that closely resemble blueberries, same color, similar size, similar loose cluster arrangement. It naturalizes aggressively across zones 3 through 7, the entire American Midwest, Northeast, and Upper South, spreading through bird droppings into new areas of your yard every single season. A mature buckthorn shrub can produce thousands of berries annually, and its seed germination rate is exceptionally high. The toxicity profile in children is severe. Strong laxative compounds cause rapid onset gastrointestinal emergency, including violent diarrhea and dangerous dehydration. Traditional growing practice, backed by modern botanical understanding, confirms these compounds act within 2 to 4 hours of ingestion. Because buckthorn establishes quietly along fence lines, under larger shrubs, and at the edges of established plantings, most American homeowners do not realize it is there until it is fully mature and fruiting heavily. The identification feature that separates buckthorn from blueberry is the small, sharp thorn at the tip of each twig. Blueberries have no thorns. Buckthorn does, visible on close inspection and unmistakable once you know what you are looking for. The mistake homeowners make with buckthorn is cutting it down once and considering the problem solved. Buckthorn resprouts aggressively from cut stumps, and because birds continue distributing seeds from adjacent properties, new seedlings emerge every season. Effective management in Zone 4 and 5 gardens requires cutting, followed by stump treatment to prevent regrowth and seasonal seedling monitoring in spring. If you know someone in the Midwest or Northeast who has a weedy shrub border they have never quite identified, send them this video right now. Buckthorn is one of the most underdiagnosed invasive berry hazards in that entire region, and most of the people who have it do not know what it is. That is every berry on this list. But we are not ending here. There are 3 things most guides never tell you, and they are coming up right now. We are not ending here. You can identify every berry on this list correctly, and still miss 3 things that most guides never address. First, buckthorn does not stay where you find it. It self-seeds aggressively through bird activity and spreads into new areas of your yard every single season. A shrub you remove this year can have 10 new seedlings by next spring, along a different fence line. Monitoring in April is not optional. Second, hollyberry toxicity peaks in winter. Most families think of berry safety as a summer concern, but holly produces and holds its heaviest berry clusters from October through February, exactly the months when grandchildren are visiting most frequently for the holidays and spending time near those front yard plants. The winter risk is higher than the summer risk for holly specifically. Third, Virginia creeper berries become more toxic as they ripen darker. The deep purple fully ripe berry in September carries a meaningfully higher oxalate concentration than the earlier stage berry. Earlier in the season is not the warning window. Late September and October is the peak danger period for this vine specifically. Here is your specific action plan based on your situation. If you have grandchildren visiting regularly and your yard contains holly, cotoneaster, or baneberry, those are your 3 highest priority. Same week removals. All 3 produce brightly colored berries at child. Reach height in typical American landscaping. If you are foraging curious or you live in the Midwest or Northeast near wooded areas, moonseed versus wild grape identification is the single most important skill on this entire list. Learn the crescent seed, that one skill protects you and everyone you share food with. If your budget for replacements is under $30, serviceberry and aronia berry deliver equivalent visual impact to the most common toxic ornamental berry shrubs, cost between $20 and $35 per plant, and are available at most American garden centers right now. If you have an established garden and cannot remove every risk plant this season, physical barrier netting over berry clusters during peak fruiting is your minimum safety step, and it costs under $15 at any hardware store. Zone 4 and 5 gardeners, prioritize buckthorn monitoring every April. Zones 6 through 9, mistletoe windfall awareness, is a year-round item. Nobody handed you this list at the nursery when you bought the shrub. Nobody put a safety guide in the bag next to the cotoneaster or the holly or the lily of the valley. That information was simply never part of the transaction, and for generations of American families, that gap has quietly cost more than anyone has kept count of. What you have now is what most American homeowners were never given: the specific knowledge to walk your yard with different eyes, to make 1 or 2 targeted decisions this season, and to know with genuine confidence that the space where your grandchildren play is as safe as the time you spent building it. That is not a small thing. The best gardens are not just beautiful, they are safe, they are considered, and they are built on knowledge that was earned, not assumed. That is what Natural Verge exists to give you every single week. If this video gave you one thing you are going to act on this week, one shrub, you will look at differently, one berry you will check, one conversation you will have with your family, hit the like button right now. Every like tells YouTube this information is worth putting in front of other American families who need it and have never seen it. That is how knowledge that was never passed down actually starts moving again. Drop your state and your USDA zone in the comments below and tell me which berry on this list grows in your yard. I read every comment and I call out specific zones across every video. Your zone completely changes which of these you need to prioritize, and knowing what viewers in your region are finding helps everyone watching this list right now. Think of one person in your life who has grandchildren visiting their yard this summer, or one person who forages casually and has never questioned a dark purple berry on a backyard vine. Do not send them a message, send them this video, just the link. You just received zone-accurate, dollar-grounded research based information on 9 of the most dangerous backyard berries in America. Information most channels never put in one place at this depth. That is what every Natural Verge video delivers. Subscribe now and turn on the bell. The next one is already coming. And if you are building a safe, intelligent American garden, you will want to be there.